Chapter 3:14. Elaine looked very pale and shocked. She said, "Oh, I'm fine, my head simply hurts a little. The doctor checked on me and he said that I'm okay, it's just that your father, the truck had hit his side." She wailed loudly. It was a fatal blow to her that her husband might end up being permanently quadriplegic. After a thorough investigation, Alex discovered that the muck truck had already escaped after the accident. Elaine and Trump were unconscious after being hit by the truck, so they couldn't see the truck's license plate nor any significant feature of the truck. Later, they were sent to the hospital. Elaine's situation was slightly better. She was sitting in the front passenger seat at the time, so she was unconscious after the accident and suffered some bruises and minor injuries. She woke up after arriving at the hospital. Trump, on the other hand, was unlucky. Sitting in the driver's seat, he suffered a major impact as the truck had hit his side and he ended up in this miserable state. Alex sighed dejectedly and thought, God is so unfair. Although Trump was an egoistic boaster who loved to pretend to be an expert despite his lack of knowledge, he was not a bad person overall, only a little cowardly and foolish. However, the accident had caused him to be permanently quadriplegic. If he didn't do something right now, he would be in misery for the rest of his life. On the contrary, Elaine was not only a typical snob, but she was also a wicked shrew who wanted to marry her daughter off like it was a trade for the sake of wealth and glory. She had no moral standards or any line in her life. And then what? She ended up fine. Alex couldn't help but sigh, an evil thought brewing in his mind. Why wasn't Elaine the one on the bed and at the risk of being quadriplegic? If she was disabled, he would finally have a leisurely life in the Richard family. At this moment, the door of the ICU opened and two figures walked in. Alex's face suddenly darkened when he laid eyes on the young man walking in front. He was Albert Warner, the man he had humiliated at the auto show yesterday. Behind him was a middle-aged man carrying a medicine chest with a big red cross on it. Emma asked, "Mom, why is he here?" "Oh, I asked him to come. Albert knows the hospital director. He was here visiting his relatives when we were admitted to the hospital. When he saw our conditions, he immediately arranged for your dad to be admitted to the ICU. Then, he put up a warm smile and said affectionately, 'Albert, you must be tired from all the arrangements. Come, have a seat.' Albert plastered a smile on his face and said, 'It's okay, I'm not tired.' Then, there was a swift change in his expression when he suddenly saw Alex standing behind Elaine. The disgusting loser was here. Yesterday, at the auto show, it was because of Alex's interference that he was humiliated in front of Emma. Since then, he hated Alex down to the marrow of his bones. Besides, he didn't think that Alex would be so incredible. He had been finding a chance to unravel his disguise. His wrath of fury started to burn when he saw his nemesis standing in front of him. At the same time, he intended to reverse the bad impression made and regain Emma's favor. Elaine sighed heavy-heartedly, wiped her tears, and said, "Albert, a while ago, the doctor said that Trump might be paralyzed for the rest of his life. What should I do?" Albert pointed at the middle-aged man behind him and introduced him to Elaine. "Don't worry. This is Jansen, a famous Asian medicine doctor in the country, and I've invited him to treat Uncle Trump. Don't worry, with his skills and professionalism, Uncle Trump will heal in no time."